All right, so let's talk about Brock Purdy. This was not his best game, I didn't think, but he still did some things I really liked. And hey, you're still winning football games. At the end of the day, that is your job. And I know that maybe you don't want to go to overtime with the Raiders, but the Raiders have been a very at times streaky team. They played very well at times. Kind of one of those teams where you don't want to catch them on their best day, but you really do want to catch them on their worst day. And they caught them on their best day and still found a way to get the victory. I want to talk about Purdy, the good, the bad, and the in between here in his game, which I thought was as a whole a good game. We're going to start off with something simple, something like this, where it's just kind of a one-on-one matchup to Brandon Ayuk over the middle. There's no denying it that the situation Purdy has been in has been very beneficial for San Francisco. Like, watch how when this play begins, you're going to see that Brandon Ayuk in that one-on-one matchup, they ran a play action to get everyone else on that play kind of out of position, and at this point, Ayuk is open. And this is something that has been happening. And listen, you don't have to apologize for hitting the open guy, right? That's part of that is the quarterback's job, and part of that is, you know, the offensive coordinator or offensive play caller, in this case, Kyle Shanahan's job, to help get guys open. But Purdy, to his credit, makes a very accurate throw, and you're able to get a touchdown there. So that's definitely been a part of it. There's no getting around that. And it's, I guess, kind of a negative just in the sense that, like, okay, there are plenty of quarterbacks who could do that stuff, but to me, the way I kind of see it isn't that, but it's more so, okay, that's the first test. You have to be able to do that first, and then we can talk about what you do in addition to that. And the reality is, if he just does that stuff, this 49ers team is a championship contender. They only need a guy who can do that much, but there's more interesting stuff at play, I think. Like, for one thing, something like this, I think, is a very good example. It's an interesting example of kind of maybe, it's actually a hiccup by Purdy, but we're also going to see some of the positives from Purdy and kind of the way where he can go above and beyond. So first, let's talk about the hiccup. Let's talk about the mistake that he made. It's a zone coverage play, so that's worth noting. The Raiders are in zone. Watch how when Purdy takes a snap and looks towards his right, you see right there, George Kittle is getting a ton of attention, meaning that he has another player further towards his right who is open, and if he makes that throw, they could get a touchdown and should get a touchdown. This is realistically where Purdy's read should take him. He should see the extra attention that Kittle that goes on Kittle and know to look further towards his right. He does not do that. It's a misread, plain and simple. But then watch him scramble outside the pocket and get something else open further down the field, makes a great throw, and somehow ends up hitting Kittle after all that anyway. So, okay, I do think that I would sit here and say you got to make that read a little better. You should go towards your right and make that. If I'm his coach, that's what I'm saying. However, I'm not his coach. I am a YouTuber who breaks down his film. And to me, I think this is actually, in a way, a good thing. I trust he's going to get that little stuff down. I trust he's going to get that, the reads down a little bit. Guys do get better at that. That's just what happens. Obviously, only so much time to get better. You're trying to win a Super Bowl now. I get all of that. But in terms of, where I feel for him in the future, I think that he'll get that stuff down, and it's good to see the playmaking side of him. The fact that he can go out and make those difficult plays is very good, because while Shanahan is a very good play caller, he isn't a god. Like, there are times when he, the play doesn't get open, and you need your quarterback to make a play. It's good to see that Purdy does have that ability, even on a play where it realistically still did get open, and he didn't have to do it. Again, there's stuff like this. I'm sure that someone in the comments is going to say, I disagree with you. Kyle Shanahan is a god. And listen, he's very good. A play like this, there's still just this stuff that happens. It's a zone coverage play. You have a receiver who's running a deep route over the middle, another player who's running or then a deep route, taking away the safety over the middle, further deep, and another guy who's going to be running shallower over the middle. Basically, the idea is that the safety can only cover one of those two guys. If the safety stays deep, which they typically do, then you throw over the middle. If the safety runs over the middle, well, then you can have a deep shot down the field for a potential touchdown. So either way, it's a situation where for the Raiders, they could be in trouble if a linebacker doesn't read this play and get back. And watch as when Purdy takes a snap, that's exactly what happens. I mean, again, it's an easy read for Purdy. I mean, look right here. It's open. This is a simple play from Purdy, but at the same time, there are quarterbacks who screw this up. I mean, Baker Mayfield, for whatever reason, could not seemingly handle these types of situations in Cleveland. He would always screw it up. Doing better in LA, guys get better, all that stuff. But still, it's good to see that you have a guy who can do the simple stuff, right? That's part of being a quarterback. As you see, Purdy does make this throw, and they're going to be able to pick up a big chunk play right there. So all that stuff is incredibly good. And the fact that they can continuously do this stuff is, again, very good, and especially if you're a 49ers fan who doesn't really care about how good Purdy looks. You just care about how good your team looks. The fact that these plays are working and working well is exciting. Like, this play is another great example of, the Christian McCaffrey trade has certainly worked out, as, you have to think trades are going to happen more and more frequently. With the success that the Von Miller trade had, you're now seeing this trade in the middle of the season have a ton of success as well. But the way it works is it's cover 0 right here. So, only one guy you have to beat. And what the 49ers are doing here is they're actually kind of designing this to, hey, let's get the ball in Christian McCaffrey's hands, but if we run a quick screen pass, what that can potentially do is get an offensive lineman further out, who no one's accounting for, obviously, and we could potentially get a touchdown here, despite the fact that we're only on, our own side of the field right here. Like, watch, right when this play begins, you see how when Purdy dumps this off to McCaffrey, you see the offensive lineman right there getting out and blocking the Raider player who is trying to cover McCaffrey. Getting an offensive lineman out there, this is just good play calling by Kyle Shanahan to get McCaffrey in open space, get, the ball in a playmaker's hands. That's part of it, but also putting them in positions to succeed, where he is definitely in a position where, as long as this block is made, he should have plenty of yards ahead of him. Watch him be able to make this move, and you're also going to see that Ayuk didn't fully finish off his block down the field. That's hard, that far down the field. I'm not even sure, he was trying to block him more so to try to get him out of the way. Not blaming Ayuk at all, because I haven't seen the whole all 22. Don't know exactly what happened. This is going to slow McCaffrey down. Actually not going to result in a tackle, though. Watch as McCaffrey is able to get around that, but that kind of allows for the rest of the Raiders to get over there. Finally, he is tackled. But again, what McCaffrey can do is obviously incredible. Obviously, McCaffrey is very good, and a big part of why they won this football game, and part of why they are real championship contenders, and, maybe even the favorites in the NFC. You could make the argument. But finally, I want to talk about the interception. The one not so great play. Again, as a whole, I thought from Purdy, it was mostly a good day. Still, I still think that he's, he's shown what we've seen him show. He didn't show me a ton that I haven't seen from him already, but still, that's good, because he's shown me good stuff in the past, so showing me most of that again is still good, giving me a bigger sample size, seeing that's really who he is. But anyways, something like this, it's a very similar play to the one I showed you earlier of, you have a receiver running a deep route that's going to try to get the safety further deep. You then have another player running over the middle. You throw it to where the safety isn't. Okay, sure, got it, understood. Purdy's going to take the snap, and to be honest, I kind of get why he makes this mistake. It is a mistake, but I get it, where he throws the ball deep down the field, not because the safety moved in. The safety didn't. The safety stayed deep, but then fell down. And so at this point, you should have a wide open shot down the field, but this is a classic example of guys in the NFL are better than guys in college, where in college, this is just a touchdown. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just a touchdown. But in the NFL, it doesn't quite work out that way, because you have someone like Amik Robinson, who, again, not exactly a household name, but he can do a lot of stuff that guys in college just can't do. Like, watch him get over, and he is going to be able to make that interception. He was the corner who was supposed to cover, the bottom third of the screen right there, but he was able to get over, and he has just bigger range than the guys that Purdy is used to going up against. This is, in my opinion, this is kind of one of those classic scenarios, and I don't really blame Purdy too much. I mean, that's not true. I blame Purdy for it. Like, what happened on that play? Purdy made a wrong throw. But how do I view it? I view it as a rookie making a rookie mistake, and these are going to happen. You're not used to this stuff. So, again, as a whole, good performance from him. I also get, though, that some fans might still be, some 49ers fans might still be saying, listen, got to get these rookie mistakes out of there, though. Got to make the mistakes now, because, a couple weeks, you won't have the luxury of making those mistakes. You're going to have to, we have to win. It doesn't matter, got to grow up in a hurry kind of thing. But again, you kind of got to view it all the same way. You got to view him as a rookie, got to evaluate him as a rookie, but also evaluate him as a player right now. And both are pretty good. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.